Hi and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Can I have a quick +1 in the chat if I'm visible as well as equally audible? Then we would start right away. Okay, just let me know. Okay, till then I'm turning on my preview screen. As well as Can I have a quick +1 from everyone if I'm visible as well as equally audible? Just let me know. Okay. Can I have a quick +1 in the chat if I'm visible as well as equally audible? Then we would start right away so that there is no technical glitch. Okay, I got a +1. Hey Lucaro, hey L. Okay, we would wait for some time, then we would start at around 8.2 or 8.3. Okay. Okay, the people who have already joined, can I know, if possible, can you tell me how many questions were you able to solve? Okay, so we would be starting after 1 minute. Let me put on a timer with that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, good to go. We would start after the timer. Okay, Ajit, Isha Jan, Robini. Okay, great, man, great. Seriously great. Congratulations. One, but the answer was not matching of that, whereas that matched in compilation. Okay, it sometimes happens. Okay, yeah, sometimes it happens. Now the thing is that no, the in our local development environment it produces a different output, and in the online environment it produces a different output. Okay, no one first time to solve here. Okay, yeah, you would gradually do that. Okay, no problem. Every pro was once a beginner. Okay, no problem. Okay, so for the last time, this timer would run. After this timer is over, we would start. Very good evening, Amrit Anand. Very good evening, Isha. Very good evening, Ajiz. Very good evening, Robini. Very good evening, Lucario. Very good evening, Anthony. Okay, so we would start right away. Okay, now let's move on to the first question. Okay, the first question was we were given a binary tree of size n. Okay, where each node can have a positive or negative values. Convert this to a tree where each node contains the sum of the left and right subtrees of the original tree. The leaf values of the leaf nodes are changed to 0. So what is the meaning of this? It is telling that we are given a binary tree. Okay, we are given a binary tree, and each node can have positive or negative values, and now we need to convert this tree where each node would contain the sum of the left and the right subtree of the original tree. Suppose this is 5, this is minus 5. So the value here would be 0, and now it is telling the values of the leaf nodes are changed to 0. What are the leaf nodes? The last nodes. Now this would be changed to 0 itself. Okay. Now let's take another example so that we understand the question better. Okay. So now let us try to solve this question. Okay. Now at first we would draw the binary tree. Okay. This is the first. This is the root node. This is its child. Okay. Good to go. Then this. Yeah. This is good. Now we would start filling up the values. Okay. So it is first telling that the value of the leaf nodes are changed to 0. So at first we would fill zeros. 0, 0, 0. Good to go. And now 8 plus minus 4. It would be 4 itself. 7 plus 5. It would be 12 itself. Okay. Now the thing is that we would add up the values with these values. Okay. Now 6 plus minus 2 plus 12 plus 4. So the value would be 20 itself. Okay. So is this clear? Is this example clear? Can I have a quick +1 in the chat if this is clear? Then we would move on to understand how we can solve this problem. Okay. Can I have a quick +1 in the chat? Okay. Now I would be replying the question which are not related to this question after I am done explaining the first question. Okay. I would be taking on the question after I finish. Okay. So can I have a quick +1 from everyone that you have already understood this example and what the question is trying to tell? Okay. Then we would move on how we can solve this problem. I would wait for 1 minute. Can you explain once again? Yeah, for sure. I would be explaining once again. Okay. Now we would be trying to solve this tree itself. Okay. Now how would we fill this tree? It is already been told that the value of the leaf nodes are changed to 0. So first we would change the value of the leaf nodes, that is 0, 0, 0 and 0. Now we would add up the values. So 4 plus minus 8 plus minus 4 is equals to the value 4. Now 7 plus 5 equals to the value 12. Okay. Now how to fill this value? This value would be 4 plus 12 plus the original value, that is minus 2 and 6 itself. So if we do the addition, that would be 16 plus 4 and this value would be 20 itself. So I think I'm clear. So we would move on to the solution part. Okay. Now at first we would draw a tree itself. Okay. So whenever you see a question, just try to at first visualize what it is trying to tell. That is the most basic thing you should do. Now we would move on. Okay. So we would try to go from the bottom itself. Okay. Because we know that the root node's value would come from the right and the left subtree. Okay. So it is quite evident from the exam question itself that we need to go from the bottom itself. We need to go from bottom to top because the top value can't be known but the bottom value is already known. So we would try to build up the solution like that only. So at first what we would do, we would mark this parent as the addition of this and this. Okay, and we would change this all these values to 0 and we would mark this value. Suppose this had the value initially as x and y, so this would have the values x and y itself. Okay, now Now the question is trying to tell us that suppose the initial value of this is A and the initial values of this is B itself. Okay, so what the question is telling that this would have the values of X plus Y plus A. This would be the value that would come from the right subtree. Okay, I should be clear with this. Can I have a quick +1? But I won't be waiting, so that you don't waste your time. Just give me a +1 that you have understood this till this. Okay, this is quite critical and this should be understood. Okay, now we need to devise some way. Okay, so we know that we are going from the bottom to the top. Whenever we are going from the bottom to the top, the first thing that strikes in our mind is recursion. Okay, the first thing that should strike in our mind is recursion. Okay, now why? Because we are taking the smallest value that we can solve and we would keep moving up. So this is quite the idea of recursion. Good to go. Now we would try to move forward. Okay, so suppose whenever you try to solve a problem using recursion, the first thing that you should do is you should hold the smallest value. You should take hold of the smallest value to build a base case. Okay, to build a base case. To build the base case, you should take the smallest thing that you can solve by yourself. What is the smallest thing? The smallest thing is that if the leaf node, if we come across the leaf node, then we would return 0 at that point. Okay, I think I should be clear. So I would be now writing this. So the base condition is that if it is a leaf node, then we would return 0 itself. 0 as the answer. If it is the leaf node, then we would return 0. Suppose this is the leaf node, so we would make it 0 itself. Okay, now how to know that it is a leaf node? It is a leaf node when it would point to the null, when it would have the null value. Okay, now when it is null, it is leaf node. Okay, now the base case is clear. Now we need to design the intermediate case. Okay, just let me know if this base case is clear or not. I would try to go from the very basic to solving this question. So just let me know, but I won't be waiting so that I don't waste your time and you would be the most productive. Okay, so now we would try to move on to the intermediate case. Okay, I would write enter to save time. Good to go. Now how would we design the intermediate case? Okay, suppose this is the tree. Okay, this is the tree itself. Okay, now we are focusing how can we get the value from this tree. Okay, how can we get the value from this tree? Okay, so what we can do is, here we have already assigned 0 and 0. Okay, good to go. Now here what we are adding 0 plus 0 plus the values which were here. Suppose the values are X and Y. So after we have assigned the values, we would then add the values of X plus Y. The same thing that would happen in this case also. So this would have the values added up as X plus Y and that the initial values of that. Suppose it is Z and Z from this tree. So that would be the value that would come from this side. Okay, I would explain the base case after I am done explaining the intermediate case. Why? Because I have already started explaining the intermediate case. I don't want to leave in between. Okay, that's why. So what would be the value? So normal thing what we would do is we would at first store this Z in a temporary variable. Okay, just like normal we would store that value in some way. We would store the value somewhere and then we would modify it. Okay, what I am trying to tell is at first we would keep the value what it is containing. Suppose I have 5 sweets. Okay, so what I would do is I would at first keep that 5 sweets aside and then I would take the sweets from everyone else, and at the end what I would do is I would add up that 5 sweets and the sweets I have got from my neighbors and we would add it up and we would give on to the parent itself. Good to go. This is good. Now I have already explained the intermediate case. So tell me, which is already called in basic terminologies, calls it as the transmission case. Okay, can you tell me if this is clear or not? Till then, I'm again explaining the base case. Okay. Okay, can we return a pair of int and int with the current modified value and old original value of node? Yeah, you can do that, absolutely. Okay, what I do basically, what I try to do is, I try to keep that as simple as possible, because you need to keep the return type as pair of int and int. But what I did is, I simply took the return type as integer. Okay, this is more simpler than doing the pair of int and int. So I tried to take the simplest approach. Okay, now I would once again explain you the base case. What the base case is that, suppose this is the tree itself. Okay, suppose this is the tree itself. Now the thing is that we would start from the bottom itself. Whenever you think of recursion, you would start from the bottom. So we would go from bottom to the top. So this value is changed to what value? This value is changed to value 0. Okay, suppose we are given just this, suppose nothing, just suppose whenever you want to take out the base case, say the smallest example. Suppose we are only given the tree of size this. What would you return according to the question? According to the question, the value of the leaf nodes are changed to 0. Okay, so the value of this node would be 0. So we would return 0. Okay, I should be clear with this. So we would write if leaf then 0, answer is 0. And how to know if it is a leaf? It would point to the null value. Okay, we would simply check root of left or right is equals to null or null. Okay, I think I should be good to go, but I have received only 1 + 1. So can I please get a +1 from everyone? After that we would move on to the implementation. Can I have a quick +1 from everyone? At least I deserve this. Okay, I got 2 + 1, but there are 24 viewers right now. Okay, the thing is that the present count of live viewers is 24, but I have got only 16 likes. Can you please increase the likes? Why? Because the YouTube algorithm is such that it makes the ranking higher when it is having greater number of likes and comments. So if possible, you can give the comment, but for now, can you please like the video? Okay, now we would move on to the implementation. Okay, now what we would do is, if the root is null, we would return 0 itself. Okay, 0 itself. Now we are at first storing the value of the root as in a temporary variable, and then what we are doing is, we are assigning the values that is coming from the left and the right subtree. And after that, what is the data we are sending? We are sending, I told you that from the right it is coming that x, okay, and this is coming as y. So what would be the value that we would be sending to the top? We would be sending to the value as y plus x. So that is the value that we are sending. Okay, and then this is the wrapper function. We would need a helper because the return type can't be changed. So I changed the value of return type. Okay, so I simply used a wrapper function. Okay, I'm good to go. Okay, thanks a lot. You have increased the like counter. Thanks a lot. Okay, please, thank you. Okay, now time for doubts itself. Two minutes. Okay, so now I would be giving you 2 minutes so that you can ask any question to me. Any question means which is not relevant to the, just ask. What can you ask? How to prepare, anything you want, any idea that you want, any guidance that you want. If you think that I am eligible enough, you can ask this within this 2 minutes time frame, and then after a break of 2 minutes we would move on to the next question. Okay, till then, can you please tell me your doubts or anything that you need, or we can do a simply a chit. If you don't have anything, we can simply do a chit chat what to do and how is everything fine and all. Okay, and then we would move on to the next question after a time frame of 2 minutes. Okay, let me reset the timer for 1 more minute and then we would move forward to the next question. Not able to design algorithm quickly, what to do? Because the thing is that if you're not good with constructive problem, try to do more constructive problem. Go to code forces and according to your rating plus 100, suppose my rating is 1500, so give the rating 1600 and try to do constructive problems of rating 1600 and you would be good to go. Okay, okay, now we would move on to the next question. Okay, this question is lead code would be, will solving 500 question in lead code would be good for getting the SDE role? I actually, quantity is not important. The quality of question is important, because the thing is that when I was in my initial days of competitive programming, I solved around problems 300 problems, which was of low difficulty and didn't see any significant growth. Okay, then what I did was I realized that we need to do harder problems, not too harder, but just above our level. So we would quickly do that. Okay, it's just that some people after doing 500 problems they go to Microsoft and Google, and some people after doing 1000 problems they even don't get the SDE role. Okay, the thing is that you need to you need to prioritize quality over quantity. Okay, now we would move on to the second question. This question was quite interesting, and I must say that it took me a hell lot of work to do. Okay, so this question name is add minimum characters. So we are given a string. Okay, so I would be changing the string as S because I am quite accustomed to naming the string as S, and we need to find the minimum characters to be added at the front of the string to make it a palindrome. Okay, so we would start off with what is palindrome. Palindrome is a sequence. Palindrome is a sequence which is same as reading from the front and reading from the back. So reading front is same as reading back. Okay, this is the thing. Now we would be moving forward. Okay, now suppose what are the examples of a palindrome. This is an example of a palindrome. If you read from this side it is ABA, if you read from this side this is same. Now the next example of palindrome is ABC and then ABC and then CBA. So ABCCBA, ABCCBA. If you read from the back and from the front it is same. That is called a palindrome. Okay, now we are good to go. Now what the question is trying to tell us that we need to add the minimum characters to be added at the front to make it a palindrome. If this minimum character was removed, what can we do? We can simply do a mirror imaging of this. If you notice carefully, what is the thing is that this is a mirror image of this. Okay, this is a mirror image of this. If you just copy this and this side and this side, this would be a mirror image. Okay, if this minimum was not given, but this constraint is making this question tough, that is the minimum characters. Okay, so this example is not that much helpful, so I copied only one example. The thing is that A, B, C, D, so what we can do is we can simply do a mirror imaging of this. So this A, B, C, D. Okay, this is the mirror image. Now we can see that even if we remove the middle A, then the string would still remain a palindrome, and we have not modified the given string which was given initially. The initial string is intact and we have prioritized. So this is our answer. How many characters have we added? We have added 3 characters. Good to go. Now we would move forward. Now what all approaches we would try? Okay. Now the thing is that we would start off with the basic things, like if I am given A, B, C and D. Okay, whenever you see that you need to you are not getting any approach, how can I calculate the minimum, just do one thing, just take simple examples and try to challenge yourself. Okay, what is the most twisted test case that can be in this question? What I do, this works for me and I might think that this would work for you too. Okay, what I do is I basically take small examples. I use the pen and paper. I draw out some examples and try to challenge the question. What could be the most twisted test case that is given? Okay, so I try to draw out some test cases and try to solve that manually. Okay, the thing is that if I'm given A, B, C, D, what I can do is I can simply leave A as it is and then I can copy B to here. It would boil down to this, and C to here. This would be this, and D to here. I won't be drawing it because it would make them look nasty. Okay, this is done, and this would be the minimum of this. Okay, now we would try to make this example hard. How can we make this example hard? Now what can we do is we would add 2 characters. Okay, and then B and C. Okay, now what can we do is this A is already present, so I don't need to tell why we won't be writing. So I can simply write B here and C here. Is this good to go? Now this is taking us to the solution. Okay, if you observe closely, this is taking us to the solution. Okay, now the first thing that would come in our mind is, what is the thing that we are not copying? We are copying this part. Okay, now what is the thing that we are not copying? Okay, now the next thing that we would do is, at first we would take the normal thing, which is everything would be distinct, and then we would take the example where everything is quite identical. Okay, and next thing is that it would contain duplicates, not identical. Okay, next thing what we would do is we would try to append a palindrome. Okay, we would try to append a palindrome in between this, and then we would add X and Y. Okay, now what we would see is this is clear. Now this is needed to be put and this is needed to be put. Okay, so for the number which is of size this, if it is this, then the answer would be 2. Okay, so now it boils down to the fact that we need to check the longest palindrome from this side. Longest palindrome from this side, continuous longest palindrome from this side, and the things which are remaining, we would be counting that, and that would be our answer. Okay, now it has boils down to the fact that longest palindrome. Okay, now coming to this conclusion that we need the longest palindrome is quite easy, but it might be tough for the people who are beginners in the world of programming. Okay, so can I have a quick +1 from everyone if this is going absolutely correct or not? Or it might be the thing that I might think that it is simple, but it might not be simple from everyone else. So is this simple for everyone else, or this is hard for you? Then I can try some different approach. Okay, Rishikesh Kumar, you asked a question which is not related to this question. So I would be taking all this kind of question at the end. Okay, I don't want to ruin this flow. Okay, so can I have a quick +1 from everyone if this is clear or not? Can I have a quick +1 from everyone if this is clear and this is quite well understood? Okay, now the thing is that we need to count the longest palindrome in a string. Longest prefix, palindrome. Okay, longest prefix palindrome. Now suppose this is a palindrome ABA. So what would be the thing? No digits would be added. So the size of string minus this one. Okay. Now we would now this is quite clear. Now what we would do? Okay. So at first when I started doing this thing, okay, so at first when I started solving this problem, okay, so at first when I started solving this problem, I couldn't think of anything which is quite similar. How can I take out the longest prefix palindrome? Okay, I tried to do some constructive ways, but I couldn't find a way. Okay, so this is not quite easy how to take out the longest prefix palindrome. Okay, then I did what? Okay, so whenever what we do in real life, whenever we are playing and we got hurt in our knee, so the first thing that we would do is, at first we would try to fix it by ourselves, and if we can't fix it by ourselves, what is the next thing that we would do? We would start thinking of the available medication that is already available. Okay, this is what we do in real life. So in the same way, what I normally do is I try to think of the available algorithms. Okay, and I have talked in the, if you are a regular viewer, I already talked about a repository which I use, and I have provided many people the repository which I used as a checklist to where I have noted all the algorithms that are already written. Sometimes I use CP algorithms too, but generally I have a checklist. And if you want that checklist, I can show you now, and then you can ask me that checklist on LinkedIn, and I would more than happy to be provide you. Okay. Now, what are the available algorithms? Okay, the available algorithms are the 26 side array, that ASCII code, which is a common practice in solving string algorithms. The next thing is that KMP algorithm, that pattern searching algorithm. Now this KMP algorithm hit me. Why it hit me? If you Acha, now a quick poll. How many of you know KMP algorithm? Okay, just a quick poll. We are not ashamed. Everyone here is here to learn. Okay, so tell me if you know KMP algorithm or not. If you don't know KMP algorithm, I would be instantly giving you a solution. If you know algorithm, I would be moving on to explaining this question. Okay, can everyone please say if you know a KMP algorithm or not? Because I don't know what to move forward, because I don't know what is the population and what is the thing that is already known. So can I have a quick +1? Can I have a quick poll that if you know KMP algorithm or not? Okay. Prabhakar Yadav knew, one people don't know. Okay, we are all here to learn. Don't be ashamed now. Okay, if you be ashamed now, no one would laugh at you, but you won't learn. Okay, but if you are not ashamed, everyone would laugh at you now. It might be the case, but no one would laugh at the moment, but you would eventually grow. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so some people don't know KMP algorithm. Okay, the thing is that we are already shortage of time. It is already 8:32 at the moment. So if I start explaining KMP algorithm, it would be quite late and everyone would lose their patience. Okay, so what you can do is you can go in this channel, and then you can go on the stream of 26th August, and there I have explained the KMP algorithm in 37 minutes, and I have tried my best to explain the KMP algorithm. It is having a quite good number of views, because as we know, educational views have a quite less number of views. Okay, so thing is that just go to this video, and if you can't find this video, text me on LinkedIn. I would provide you the link. This is the question. Just go to this question, and I have made you understand the whole KMP algorithm. Okay, just go to that and you would be good to go. Okay, now the thing is that if you are a little bit experienced, The thing is that the merge function is quite important, okay, in the divide and conquer. In the same way, here in the KMP algorithm, there is a step known as constructing the LPS array of the size of the string. Now, what is the LPS array? The LPS array would calculate the proper prefix, which is also a suffix. Okay. Now for the people who don't know what is prefix and suffix, suppose this is, let me take an example. Suppose I took the example Amrit. Okay. So now the thing is that then AM, then AMRI. Okay. These are all the prefix. Okay. AMRIT. These are all the prefix of the string Amrit. Okay. But if we talk about the proper prefix, this won't be included. This all would be the proper prefix. Okay. All the prefix but not the whole string would be included. That is known as the proper prefix. Okay. Now what is suffix? Prefix is talking from the front, but suffix is talking from the back. Like T, IT, then RIT, okay, then Amrit, then AMRIT. Okay, these are all the suffixes of a string. Okay. Now, what this LPS array tells us is that it would calculate the proper prefix, which is already a suffix. Okay. So first, the thing is that to relate that LPS array with the suffix, with the palindrome itself, what you can do is you can simply write A, B, A, and take one more example, A, B, C, and then B, A. Okay. It is when the team has provided you the link for the KMP algorithm. Okay. Now we would take the example of a string itself. Okay. Now we would try to relate this with the LPS array thing. Okay. Now the thing is that how can we do this thing? Okay. Now we would add one more X and Y. Okay. For this, the answer would be this. Okay. For this, the answer would be, this would be the palindrome, and this would be the extra part, and we need to take this answer out. So how can we relate this? Okay. So what, after you write this, after you draw this on a pen and paper, what would be the thing is that if you do a mirror image of this, what I told, the mirror image from the front, from the first example, what I told, if you do the mirror image of this, what would be the thing? Y, X, and then mirror image of that would be A, B, C, and B, A. And the next thing is that I would be making a space like this, and then I would move the page, yeah, and then A, B, C, B, A, then X and Y, and here it should be only 1X. Good to go. This is where we would stand. Now the thing is that we need to relate this. Okay. So if you see, the thing is that this calculates the proper prefix, which is already a suffix. Okay. Now if we turn this upside down, then see, this is equal to this thing. Okay. But this is not equal to this. Yx is not equal to xy. Now you would tell me that, Siddharth, how do you have the idea to make it the mirror image? Because the thing is that this palindrome, when it is make the mirror image, it would be the same, but the thing which is not a palindrome, if the mirror image is taken, it would be unequal. And if the mirror image of a palindrome is taken, it would be absolutely equal. So we would, that's how, use the KMP algorithm. Okay, just let me know if I'm clear with this or not. Just let me know if I'm clear with this or not. Okay, good to go. Now, what we did here, okay? Now, let us summarize what we did here, okay? So, what we can do is we can simply take the string. This is the string, this is S, and this is reverse F, and this is bar itself. So, what we can do is S plus bar plus reverse of S itself. Okay, I should be clear with this. Now, how to, this is S and this is, how this would be the normal S, this would be the reverse of S. What we would do is we would just reverse the original string, and instead of making this bar, we would simply take a special character like this dollar sign or any special character, and that would act as the bar. Okay, I should be clear with this. Now I would again explain you the idea itself. Okay, now the thing is that at first I would write a palindrome. Okay, so the thing would be like this: A B C, then B A. Okay, this is a palindrome which reads the same as backwards and frontwards. Now I would add some extra characters, okay, like it is given in the question. Now suppose I add D and F, okay, suppose this is the character. So what we can do is we can simply add a special character here, special character here. Now what we would do is we would make the mirror image, okay, mirror image in that side. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, we would try to make a mirror image in that side. Okay, this is a special character. I would mark this as a bar. Okay, try to make this as a bar. Now I would try to do this. Okay, D F A B C B A. Now what we would be think that this is equal to this. Okay, okay, if we do the mirror image, this DF would become FD. Okay, this mirror image would become like I am showing you. I am actually a human, so don't get me wrong. Okay, the thing is that this would be just reverted. Okay, this would be F this side and D this side. Okay, just a normal human mistake. Please forgive me. Okay, please forgive me. I too make mistakes sometimes. Okay, the thing is that we would move forward. Now this is a prefix and this is a suffix itself. Okay, now this is clear. Now we would just, what we would do is we would add the reverse, we would add a special character in between. Now we would calculate the LPS array, and then what we would do is we would take the value of the last LPS value minus the length of the original string. Okay, now suppose at the end what would be the value? This is 1 2 3 4 and 5. So this would be the 5 at the end. Now the total length of the string is 7. So 7 minus 5 would be 2, and 2 is our answer. So can we move to the implementation now? I tried to one more times I tried to explain that thing. So can I have a quick +1? Then we would move on to the implementation. After that we would be taking on general doubts or doubts from this question. So can I have a quick +1 from this question? Can I, for this explanation? Then we would move on to the implementation. Because implementation is the last thing that you should do, that you should see, not do. Can I have a quick +1 from the people who are watching right now? Okay, So I've started getting +1. If there is any doubt, just let me know. I would again repeat it. Okay, no problem. Okay, now we would move on to the implementation. The implementation is quite clear. It is, we are at first taking the temporary string so that we can reverse it. Why we are taking the temporary string? Because reversing is in place. Okay, it does not returns anything, it just replaces the original string. So what we are doing is, we are at first reversing the temporary string that we have already kept. Now the original string plus the special character and then the temporary string. Okay, now we are taking the string of that size which is the resultant, and then we are making an LPS array of size n, and the initial value of LPS array is 0. And this calculation, this thing, if you're not able to understand, just understand KMP algorithm, you would know how I have calculated this. This is same. Okay, now at the end, what we are returning the length minus the last value of LPS. Okay, this is quite simple. So just now let me know if there is any doubt from this question. Okay, after that I would be taking on general doubts. Okay, now tell me your doubts. I have been speaking straight for 45 minutes. Okay, let me know if this is clear or not. Yeah. Okay. Now you can ask me anything. Okay, now I would take on the question of Rishikesh. Sir, I'm not able to do any of the problems. So should I practice DSA from GFG and solving GFG would help me in getting the concepts of solving both? Okay, so if you take my personal opinion, if you just keep solving the DSA question, it what I did was, I started solving the DSA question, but it didn't help me much in the first place. So what I did is, I started with the thing known as competitive programming. Okay, just do competitive programming and reach the basic step like 3-star or 4-star. Okay, 3-star or 4-star is nowadays, it is very basic and it can be achieved easily if you do some basic practice, honest practice. Okay, okay, just do some honest practice, do some sprinting and all, and you would get the idea. So what it does is, competitive programming adds a new dimension to your brain. Okay, you would get a new direction. Okay, where can I get all the most important topics to be covered in CP? Okay, now, so just show the algorithm of the first question. Just once show the algorithm of the first question. Show the algorithm of the first question. Yeah, the first question algorithm is this. This is the first question algorithm. Till then, answer how much competitive coding is important to become a SDE. Okay, the thing is that I am still in my 5th semester. I am a 2019-2023 batch pass out. So I am not a SDE. So I don't consider myself eligible enough to suggest you if what is enough. But what I have known from my senior fellows or from my teachers is that getting the normal, like reaching specialist on code courses and reaching 4-star on CodeChef should be a barrier, should be the step that is the minimum, which is kind of important enough. Okay, I'm telling you which I have heard. Okay, I didn't implement it myself because I'm just in my 5th semester now. Okay, now the next thing is that where can I get all the most important topics to be covered in CP? Okay, what I basically use is, I use this website a lot. This is CP Algorithms. Okay, this is the website where you would get all the important topics that are needed to be learned in the competitive programming. Okay, Now, one more thing what you should do is you can use Competitive Programmer's Handbook. Okay, these are all the things. If you just solve binary exponential, just open this. You would get all the theory. After that, you would get the proof of it. After that, you would be provided with a set of questions, practice question. Okay, this is quite easy, and I think it is the most thing which is less, it has almost all the important topics. Now, sir, algorithm list. Can you please mention your LinkedIn? Okay, my LinkedIn is mentioned in that contest page. Just go to the contest page, and behind that editorial, just click on Siddharth Hazra. You would get, my name is Siddharth Hazra. Just search me on LinkedIn. You would get my profile. Okay. So every question is now covered. So is everything okay now? Can we end this session? Can we end this session now if we are done? Or if you have any more questions, then we can already take it. Okay, I would be waiting for the last 1 minute. Okay, if I don't get any questions or any queries, I would be turning this session off. And if by chance you have missed this opportunity and you are viewing it, okay, how much time did you took for you to become 5-star? It took me around 1.5 years. Yeah, 1.5 years. Can you share the algo link? It is cpalgorithms.com. Okay, the thing is that if I send any link in the chat itself, it doesn't allow us to send any link in the chat itself. That's why just search CP algorithms in Google, you would get. Okay, Manish Kumar Giri, hello Manish Kumar. Any more questions, or I can close the session off? Most welcome, Yashasvi. Okay, so that's all for today. This is Siddharth Hazra signing off. If you still face any difficulty or you have any general doubts, then you can connect on me with LinkedIn, okay? Or you can mail with me on siddharth.hazra@geeksforgeeks.org. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.